Daylilies in bloom at Diversity Acres. Figured I'd give you a tour. This is probably about as close to peak as you get, because they're all kind of on different schedules, but there's still a lot in bloom at any one time. So over here you have Pardon Me. Before that, it's not in bloom. This is Strawberry Candy. Let's see. We have Pardon Me. Big Time Happy is here, although again it's not in bloom right now. But you can see it's got some coming up. You have Mauna Loa, Little Grapette, Rosie Returns. That's a huge clump right there. There's my hand there. I'm only at about 12 inches from the camera lens. Yeah, there. Right beside it is Mini Pearl. Again, it's getting ready. It's a little bit later to bloom. Actually, it looks like it might have bloomed up in the back right there once. Next to it, this is my Chicago Apache batch. Going up, again, doing her thing. It's bloomed some, and I've also crossed on it. So that's why these are spent. But it's a nice pink, kind of stocky pink bloom. Right above it is Ruffled Apricot. That one's really put on a nice show. And behind it, you'll see, we'll walk through, that's Ruffled Vintage Burgundy. Ruffled Apricot really does the trick. I'm gonna go through here, do my imitation drone flyover. And even if I get a couple bug bites, it's worth it. So that's Ruffled Vintage Burgundy. Right next to it, took a long time to identify this. I had misidentified it. On my website is Little Spiker, but this year I just went through and looked at it, and it has been identified as Petite Prize. I looked at all aspects of the flower, its height, its bloom period, its diploid diurnal, you know, all those aspects, not one aspect, and identified it. That's Petite Prize. Next to it is one of my new ones I got in a trade from a guy on Facebook. It has not bloomed yet, just planted this year, so that's next year. Coming up here is Bright and Sunny, bright and showy. Again, it's a later one, so you can see it's got its scapes forming on it, but not yet. Heading up, again, this is one I had to work on identifying. Just things happen, you know, we're not all perfect. Teakwood Sunset. Let me zoom out there, see if I can get that a little clearer. Yeah, Teakwood Sunset there. Again, I've crossed it a lot on other things, including this year. One I just got at a sale, Chesapeake Crab Legs up there. As luck would have it, it had a scape on it, and it planted yesterday, and there was just enough energy, it bloomed today. So it's not for sale. Teakwood is. There's Teakwood Sunset. Going in, another nice big, Teakwood's a diploid, by the way. There's another nice one right here. That's Bella Lugosi. Got a couple for sale of that this year. Coming over here, this one is just bloomed. This is Ice Cap, right there. Got a cross on that. We'll see if that takes. Actually, it didn't. Nah. It's always sad when that happens, but hey, you can't win them all. So I just take that tag off. There are my tags for anybody. Quick discussion on, you see the number there with the star there. If I do a reciprocal cross, I put a star in front of the number. That's just my method. Then you see the cross number, 2021 the year, dash D40. That's my 40th cross for Daylilies. I do irises. Yeah, I do irises, Louisianas, Siberians, and bearded. So I have a different letter designation for that. So when I'm looking at different number 40s, I know which one it is. and then there's a cross notation under it. You don't need to be that technical or that detailed, but I am just like, I like repeat information in different places in case one source fails or gets messed up. Then you can look at a tag or look at a book or something. Oh, I forgot, in the back here, again, it's kind of on its own schedule. That's Dixie Rooster, for any of you. Again, I crossed it with one, so it's kind of on its own world. So that's Ice Cap right there. Coming up here, Fun in the Sunshine. I just crossed this flower, so that's why it's closing up. But you can kind of see part of it isn't completely gone. Yeah, it's got a lot of teeth on it and ruffles. It's a nice big golden yellow one. Right next to it is Always Afternoon. Crossing on that, another tetraploid. Pretty nice and stuff. We'll go through here. Do my drone flyby. Coming up here, not in bloom there, but that's Leprechaun's Wealth. It's a very small one. And then over here, this one was really in full bloom. Just a day ago, it had 7 blooms here. I crossed them all. That is South Seas right there. Yeah, that's a nice one. Got a nice fragrance to it. Although I've had trouble crossing it with Fun in the Sunshine, despite the fact they're both tetraploids and rebloomers, supposedly. Supposedly they've got the rebloom gene in there. To date, I've never had any of my daylilies that are rebloomers rebloom for me. So I don't know what's going on in daylily world there. I'm sure they rebloom somewhere, or they wouldn't have made that designation. But even as with irises, rebloom is probably, I'm guessing it's conditional upon the environment. You know, maybe I need to hit it with some fertilizer or something at the end of the year to get it to do it. But to date, any of my daylily rebloomers, even though I cross for it, they haven't rebloomed. So don't know what's going on there. Not laying blame, just making a note. I heard somewhere someone say that they had the same experience, so I'm just sharing my experience. And that's kind of the extent of it. So there's my daylilies there. I think I have one over in the side yard, Fire King. It's kind of like Mauna Loa, a big nice orange one. And then I have a seedling I got from a sale recently that's in bloom, but that's nothing that is going to be for sale or anything. So those are the daylilies of Diversity Acres. And for those of you who would like to buy them, anything that is for sale is on my website. It's at Square. Just search Diversity Acres. I think it's --Square. It's a different. It's like a subdomain for them. It's it's not my own domain. So it's Diversity-Acres. I think .square.site. But it's a Square site address. So don't click on anything else. It says Diversity Acres on Square. That's my thing. If you search it, you'll find it. Although stay away from diversityacres.net. That was my old domain. It's not mine anymore. Don't click on it. So look for the Square site address, Diversity Acres, and stop on by. For those knowing, on my website it says daylily $7. Most of them are sold as double fans. For those in the community, you know what that means. For those who don't, that literally means I'll give you 2 plants for $7. So, those are new here. This is a fan, and that's a fan. So if I were to sell this, now this is one I sell single fans because it's newer and it's larger. But some of the smaller diploids, I try to make it worth your while. And so basically, if I were selling this at $7 a double fan, you get 2 of those plants for that price. So that's what that means. Okay, it doesn't mean I think the plant is any less valuable. It's just kind of like a standard that a lot of people do. A lot of the sellers do. They sell things for double fans, as double fans, and that literally means you get 2 plants, 2 fans for whatever price they're selling you. And for me, most of these are fairly older cultivars, so they're around the $7 range for me, and they're sold as double fans. which means you get two plants for that price. That's listed on my website. So stop on by, take a look. I know they're not the latest and greatest, but they're doing well, and I can tell you, Daylilies here in Virginia, they're bulletproof. They hack out the weather, and they take care of themselves, you know. I grow things naturally, so I mean, you'll see my beds are kind of messy down there. A lot of debris and stuff, a lot of weeds and everything. You've probably seen my philosophy before, and maybe some of my other videos. But basically, for weeds, I don't pull weeds out and then truck them off, you know, barrel them up and throw them away. I pull weeds out and then I lay them down on the ground. They're my plant food. So that's why you see everything. I tend to let it get weedy, and then I'll come through and do a big cleaning and just scrape things off and lay it right back down on the bed and let that organic material rot away. So that's my philosophy, to grow them sustainably and in a natural way, if you will. If you have to use your fertilizer, that's fine. I just never grew up on the fertilizer idea. You know, it's just me. So that's what I do. So I hope to see you. Hope to get some orders. Again, any of these can ship out right now. They're ready to go. I'll even cut off the scape and send them to you. If I can, if I have a pod on it, obviously I can't send that, but I will work to get you a plant. So, thanks.